morning, everyone. I try not to be specific. I don't like to be so plain. Things never seem to turn out the way you want it in the end. They say it's not about the ending, but the way that you get through. Your solutions to the problem that the world throws at you. It's all about becoming, stumbling upon the person you were meant to be, the road you're walking on. It's all about becoming. And there are those who find it easy, the ones who always seem to know the reason they were put here, what direction they should go. While most of us are left to wander, simply do the best we can. Are we missing all the signals, or do we fail to understand? It's all about becoming, stumbling upon the person you were meant to be, the road you're walking on. It's all about becoming. And the sun will rise tomorrow, so I've learned to keep the faith. Still learning how to live, and I'm learning how to wait. And the world is unforgiving, all you hear is doubt. Those problems usually have a way of working themselves out. So I try not to be specific. I don't like to be so bland. Things never seem to work out the way you want it in the end. It's all about becoming, stumbling upon the person you were meant to be, the road you're walking on. It's all about becoming. It's all about becoming. It's all about becoming.
That was the wonderful Andrew Dunn, who will be back to grace us with more original music throughout today's service. We're going to start the way we always do here at CSLM with an affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment. So I invite you to close your eyes. And right here, right now, in this sacred space, we come together to know the truth, to know who and what we are, to align ourselves with the one power and presence of the divine good within each, that presence of intelligence and givingness and love and joy. I know that this power and presence flows through me, in me, as it does through each one. And so I simply allow it today. I receive it today. I participate in it today, knowing that each one here does the same. And so we are grateful to be in community where we get to know the truth, where we get to affirm our good, and where we get to nurture our joy. How blessed are we? And so with deep gratitude and grace for this teaching, for this beautiful community, and for this opportunity to be in consciousness with you, I release this word into law, knowing that as I think it, speak it, and do truly believe, so it must be. And so together we say, and so it is. Good morning. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything we do. Here we honor the unique journey of every soul, offering a place of healing, growth, and celebration. Together, we create an atmosphere of openness and love, where every person is seen, valued, and accepted just as they are. My name is Lori Carlson. I'm a licensed practitioner here. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see all of you in person. If you are joining us on the live stream or checking us out at a later time, we are happy that you are part of this journey of shared wisdom, light, and transformation. And today I'm going to add joy. So if this is your first time with us here, do we have any first timers? Yes, okay, well, great. You get a free book. Please make sure you get a welcome packet and complete a new visitor form so that we can add you to our constant contact newsletter, which tells you all about what's going on here. Anybody else who is not part of our constant contact newsletter, the sign up is in the back. You can also visit our website, which is cslmarstown.org. Like I said, I'm very happy to welcome Andrew Dunn as our musician today. And the theme for 2026 is open at the top, right? And the monthly theme for March is what if? And my topic today is what if happiness or joy is the point? So I'm going to be talking to you about that. But first, we're going to do our namaste practice. So, since I'm talking about joy, we're going to shift it just a little. Namaste is the Sanskrit word for the divinity within me, recognizes and honors the divinity within you. Today, I'm going to invite you to say the joy within me recognizes and honors the joy within you. Because I'm going to be talking about how that joy is our understanding of our oneness with Spirit. That joy, that inherent joy that we can access is about that. So let's just start out by recognizing it. So I invite you to put your hands together and turn to someone, say, the joy in me recognizes and honors the joy in you. The joy in me recognizes and honors the joy in you. Everybody feel a little more joyful? We're going to be talking about joy today. And to start us off at this day of joy, we have Andrew Dunn back with Do No Harm and You Don't Bug Me.
I always like to do this song first. It shows, because it kind of just shows who I am. That's okay. Channel wants to do something. Because it's basically my philosophy. Plus, it starts with a very true love. Well, I can't seem to get my shit together. I try to tell the weather, I never get it right. I can't stand to listen to the news. People sharing different views, but they always want to fight. Whatever works for you, so you can rest your head at night. Whatever gets you through, and if you do no harm and you don't harm me, it's alright. Baby, it's alright. Well, there's no such thing as a wrong side of the tracks. We all get our 40 whacks, and we all take a dive. We're in the same water, but we all have different boats. Or you grab whatever floats, just to keep yourself alive. Whatever works for you, so you can rest your head at night. Whatever gets you through, and if you do no harm and you don't bug me, it's alright. Baby, it's alright. You can identify with that, right? Well, I tried to meditate, I tried to pray, I tried to raise my voice so I'd be heard. I read a book by Aristotle, but I couldn't understand the word. I couldn't understand the word. It's true. I really tried. It's way too complicated. One of those really deep political, not political, philosophical
if happiness and joy was the point? I'm not talking about, I'm going to actually make a specific definition between happiness and joy. How many people use them interchangeably? I know I often do sometimes, right? But really, when you think about it, happiness is what happens, is how you feel when life is good. When things are going your way, when it's a sunny day, when you get what you want, when everything is flowing the way you want. It's easy to be happy, right? Happiness is a feeling that you have. Joy, on the other hand, is something deeper. Joy is that sense of oneness with spirit. It arises from our understanding that we are one, that we are one with the divine. It arises from that fulfillment we get from knowing the truth of who we are, right? So the things you do that bring you joy can add to your happiness, but you need to nurture and build those things that bring you joy, right? What's Lori's mantra? Daily practices, right? There are things you can do to create and nurture and bring forth that feeling of joy. Because what is it? It is a connection with the divine. And so, happiness is condition-based, but joy is consciousness-based. And that means it takes intention, attention, and conscious awareness, right? It means that it is always a choice that you get to make. And that's why joy can exist even in difficult circumstances. I know there's a lot going on in the world, in my life, that I'm not happy about. But am I joyful? Yeah, pretty much. I connect to that place within me where I know divinity lives. And I do it on a daily basis, so that I am able to come from that place of joy. And that's what we want to do, right? That's what we want to bring out into the world. And I wasn't always this person. When I was in rehab, I think I may have shared this before, nobody wanted to hang out with me because I was such a negative person, that I was a downer. Just the other day, an old friend of mine called me a negative Nelly, and I was like, I got to think about that. I don't know another single person on this planet who would call me a negative Nelly. But instead of getting upset and defensive, I said, I'm going to take a look at that. Where does that come from? And what that comes from is that she experienced me through all those negative years, right? She was the recipient of a lot of my negativity. So I had to say, okay, maybe she's projecting an old version of me on me. And maybe I fall into old patterns when I'm interacting with her. And maybe both are true, right? But the joy, I'm not happy she said that, and I'm not happy if I'm falling into those patterns. But the joy is that today I'm aware of it. Today I get to choose. That's not who I am. No, I'm not going to, you can say that, but I'm not going to be defined by that, because that is not the truth of who I am. Ernest Holmes says, joy is the expectancy of good. It is the realization that we are one with the infinite. And I know that today. I know my divinity. I know my oneness with spirit. And that allows me to show up in a positive way. That allows me to share my joys. There's somebody here who calls me orange juice because they say I'm always smiling. And I have been accused of being a Pollyanna. But it is not a superficial happiness. My life is not perfect, let me tell you. I have a lot of things that I deal with. Do I bring them forth here? Well, sometimes, but the fact is that I find joy in who I am today and how I get to show up. So I'm going to tell you lots of stories, right? So, I go to an AA meeting every morning, and in my AA meeting, I'm known for sharing my joys on Monday morning because I'm always coming from the center on Sunday. Sunday is my spiritual day. So on Monday morning, my joy is always that I had a spiritual Sunday. I had a sacred Sunday. And when I first started sharing this regularly all the time, people would sort of groan and roll their eyes and be like, oh, here goes Lori again, and so because they just saw it as oh, you have no problems, your life is good, you're always sharing joys. But you know what? Over time, that shifted. And now they look forward to it. They depend on it. In fact, last Friday I was driving to the doctor's office and I was just listening into the meeting as I was driving, right? And they said, okay, does anybody have any joys to share? And nobody raised their hand, and the leader went, we can't have a joyless day, where's Lori? And I was like, I pulled over to the curb and I got on screen and I shared my joy. So what was my joy? I wasn't happy I was going to the doctor, but I was joyful that I was making that choice, that I was choosing to take care of myself, that I was choosing to do the next right thing. And that's where I try to live today. Not necessarily happy about the circumstances, but joyful in knowing that when I'm authentically me, that I am showing up that way, right? And then when you share joys, it spreads. It's the ripple effect, right? Somebody texted me later, oh, because you shared that, now I made a dentist appointment that I've been putting off forever. So I'm like, okay, so the idea of sharing joys is that a joy shared is a joy multiplied, right? And while people may not always want to hear it, you're planting that seed of possibility. You're making that ripple of joy and of good. And it always comes back to appreciating who you are. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, to get up each morning with the resolve to be happy is to set your own conditions to the events of each day. To do this is to condition circumstances instead of being conditioned by them. Well, isn't that what this teaching is all about? Okay. To get up each morning with the resolve to be happy is to set your own conditions to the events of the day. To do this is to condition circumstances instead of being conditioned by them. So that is exactly what this teaching is, right? Change your thinking, change your life. We co-create with Spirit. We have the power to do that. And if we do that through every choice we make, through every thought we think, through every way we interact with people, we get to choose whether we're going to show up as joy, as our authentic selves, or whether we're going to get stuck in the negativity that's so prevalent around us, right? That is always up to us. Thich Nhat Hanh says, I have so many quotes about happiness, guys. Thich Nhat Hanh says, every morning when we wake up, we have 24 brand new hours to live. What a precious gift. We have the capacity to live in a way that these 24 hours will bring peace, joy, and happiness to ourselves and others. So if you woke up every morning with that attitude, right? Conditioning circumstances and choosing joy. I have a daily affirmation practice, which a lot of you are familiar with, and that helps center me. That helps remind me every morning of who I am and what I want my day to be. And that I am conditioning circumstances, and I am creating an alignment with that joy. Because that joy comes from a sense of fulfillment, and I find that in my oneness with Spirit. So, you know, in AA we say, we're happy, joyous, and free. We want to be happy, joyous, and free. That's why we do the hard work of step work. And that's also why we do the hard spiritual work, right? Because we want to be happy, joyous, and free. And in AA, you'll hear a lot of people say, how happy do you want to be? So I'm going to say, how free and happy and joyous. Actually, it's the other way. They say, how free do you want to be? I'm going to say, how joyous do you want to be? It takes work. It takes intentionality. It's not something that just happens, right? A lot of us think, oh, some people are joyful, and some people are not. Some people are happy, and some people are not. Well, circumstances can try to make you unhappy, but joy is something that you get to choose. It is something you get to choose by your alignment. Aeschylus said, I told you I have a lot of quotes, said happiness is a choice that requires effort at times. So how much effort are you willing to put in, right? Are you doing the hard work? And I'm not talking about la la la, like everything's good, you know. I'm not talking about spiritually bypassing or denying what's going on. I'm talking about choosing again and again. How can I show up as love? How can I show up as joy? How can I connect with my inner divinity so that that's the energy I bring into the room, into the world, right? Because we get to do that. You can walk around with a dark cloud and bring everybody down, or you can choose to uplift others by your very presence and your choices. So there's lots of ways we can do that. I just heard an interesting term recently called bloom scrolling. Has anybody heard that? Bloom scrolling, like as opposed to doom scrolling. So doom scrolling is where you're scrolling your phone and it takes you down into negativity, right? It takes you, from one thing after another, and the algorithm loves that. They will keep bringing you that which you look at. Bloom scrolling is where you intentionally choose positive messages, where you intentionally spend time, follow all of the positive news, all the good things, and guess what? That changes the algorithm. You will start to see more of it. You'll be like, hey, where was all this before? But you get to have agency, right? I talked a couple weeks ago about agency. You get to do something that can change the flow of your feed, that can change your consciousness. We have that same ability to change the flow as to change our consciousness. We get to choose. And it's so easy to forget that, right? It's so easy to forget that it always comes down to us and to our choice. And sometimes that means protecting and nurturing the things that bring you joy. Sometimes that means making boundaries that are difficult. I know for me, poetry is one of the things that brings me joy. And I have had several conflicts just recently with poetry things I wanted to do and with other things. One of them was being here. And I had to say, okay, what nurtures my joy? What is better for me? And I know it's difficult. If you have kids, if you have parents, if you have family, if you have people that are dependent on you, I know it's difficult to make those boundaries and give yourself enough time to protect your joy. But it is essential. Because what is it we believe? You can't give away what you don't have. As within, so you can't bring joy or happiness or a sense of your oneness in the divine if you don't have it. So if you allow yourself to get lost in circumstances and conditions, in the news, in all the things that are happening, and don't maintain on a conscious level, with conscious intention, your connection with spirit and with joy, you have nothing to bring. It's as simple as that. When we learn to live from the center of our being, we connect with that joy, right? So that's where we need to go, and we need to do that with our daily practices, right? With our prayer, with our meditation, walks in nature, with whatever connects you to spirit, because that is the source of all good. That is where everything comes together and brings you into a greater expression of spirit. And that's what the definition of joy is for me. So I like to do things for others. Eleanor Roosevelt says, since you get more joy out of giving joy to others, you should put a good deal of thought into the happiness that you are able to give. Right? I don't know how many people in here get joy out of giving joy to others, right? But once again, it's a thing about boundaries. It's not overextending so that you're depleted and can't take care of yourself. It's about knowing what is yours to do and doing it with joy. Because let me tell you, if you do it with a subtle resentment, if you do it when you don't really want to, it's not the same energy. It doesn't bring the same thing into the world. And that we need to remember that we have the ability to bring whatever energy we focus on and whatever energy we choose to bring forth out into the world. So it's always about choice and perspective, right? Okay, I'm going to tell you another little story. So I just recently found out that I owe double the amount of taxes that I expected. Okay, so and then the guy who helps me with my taxes, I realized he didn't declare any of my cash income, and I make cash income as a speaker and as a practitioner, and he said, oh, you don't have a 1099, you don't have to declare that. Like, nobody does, right? And I had like a moment where I went, he goes, if you do, your taxes are gonna go up even more. I had a moment where I went, oh. And then I said, you know, that's not who I am today. That's who I used to be. That's who I was for most of my life. I lived off the grid. I got paid in cash. I never declared it. It was like, that's who I used to be. That's not who I am today. And so my joy, am I happy that I have to pay more taxes? No. But my joy is that I get to be in integrity with myself. My joy is that I choose integrity. And that comes from a place of alignment with spirit, right? That comes from that deep knowing of my oneness. Michael Beckwith said, integrity is about being integrated with the spiritual values of the universe. It is also about being happy, because happiness and joy mean that you're coming into integrity with your soul. Coming into integrity with your soul. So you see, I could have chose to be pissed off and resentful that I have to pay more taxes. Instead, I choose to see it as a sign of my abundance. Instead, of course, I'm going to make some different choices for next year, but I am choosing to see it as a blessing, right? It shows me that I get paid for what I love to do, and I am grateful for all that I get to do. And so I willingly stand in my integrity and stand in my joy, and I'm grateful that I get to do that today, even as I write the check. So, what are some small ways that we can show up in the world and bring joy, right? I have a sponsee, the one who coined the phrase, lorrying your way out of it. They just recently went and brought a whole bunch of people to eat at a restaurant in Morristown that had lost all their business because somebody was grabbed there by ICE. And so everyone was afraid to go. So, they were now struggling. And so a whole bunch of people went and brought joy into a place where there was fear. So that's like something we can do, right? We can choose to show up for others. We can choose in small ways. Shop local. I know it's so easy to order on Amazon, but when you shop local, you have interactions with people and you support local businesses. Smile. Smiling is, okay, you're gonna get me out. Smiling, there's a science behind the power of a smile, right? We're all familiar with that. Science has proven that you don't even have to mean it. If you just move your face, you get the benefit. So now I'm gonna invite everybody right now. Big smile, exaggerated smile. Just take a minute and then turn to somebody else and smile at them. Right? It's uplifting, right? And you can't help but be uplifted. One of the saddest things that I can think of are women, and this is a thing, who don't smile because they're afraid to get laugh lines. So that's a thing. That is a thing, really. And I just find that so sad, because it's like, to give up the joy of laughter. I love to laugh. I know I'm always sharing here that I have a laughter practice, and we're going to do a little laughter yoga later. So we did that a couple of years ago and everybody loved it. So we're going to do that just to connect with our joy. But I have a laughter practice. And so am I happy that I have so many wrinkles? No. But my laugh lines are something that I revel in, because it means that I spend a lot of time smiling. And I didn't used to. So I get to be that person today. I get to show up as joy. And hopefully, the more you show up as joy, the more happiness you will feel. But happiness, like I said, is conditional. So you get to choose the joy, and then you get to experience happiness. And the whole point is that this isn't just about us, right? We all want to be happy, but like the metta loving kindness prayer in Buddhism, we want others to be happy, right? A world that works for everyone. That's what CSL's purpose and mission is. So we need to bring that so that we can spread it. A couple weeks ago I talked about how we can tilt the shift, right? We can tilt the energy towards the good by showing up as good, by showing up as joy, even in the midst of all kinds of problems. And even in the midst of circumstances that are not happy, we can always show up that way. Neil Donald Walsh says, happiness and joy comes to you when it moves through you. There is no other pathway, and that's the miracle. You will have a number of opportunities in the days just ahead to be a vehicle of happiness and joy for another. Step right into that, right? Be the source of that. As you bring others to a smile, so too will you bring it to yourself. The method is foolproof. Neil Donald Walsh. I just love that, because for me, I always talk about spirit flowing through me, right? You know, when I'm talking spirit flowing through me, but happiness and joy, when I can bring that to someone else, it is flowing through me. It is not the thing I buy or, you know, the outside actions. It is the energy that I bring to those. It is the energy and the vibration that I bring to what I do. And I'm grateful that I get to do that today. Anne Frank says, whoever is happy will make others happy. So, I mean, I'm going to adapt it. I try to be joyful so that I can make others joyful. So I can connect with that place within me that knows the truth of who I am, that aligns with that divinity within. And so there is nothing that can happen to me or around me that can take away that joy. And let me tell you, like I said, it is not easy. It doesn't just happen. It takes conscious effort and intention. Let me tell you, there are mornings when I don't want to do my affirmation. I don't just want to lay in bed. I don't want to have to do all this. But I do it. And I'm always better off for it because it connects me. It connects me to that place of joy. And when you bring conscious awareness and intention to something, you magnify it. So that joy magnifies every time I pay attention to it. That connection with spirit grows deeper and stronger every time I pay attention to it. Every time I choose it, because it always comes back to choice. We can choose every day to do something that brings a smile to someone else, right? The power of that smile. You don't even have to mean it. You know, you get the physical benefits and you get the emotional and spiritual benefits of sharing it. And so that was one of the worst things about COVID, right? Was that you couldn't see people smile. How many people tried to smile with their eyes? So it's like the idea of how simple it is to smile at someone. Every time you walk by somebody in the grocery store or, every time you walk past somebody, if you just smile at them, even if you're going through, excuse my language, shit, even if your day is not good, if you choose to smile at someone else, it will help uplift you. And it will help remind you that joy is a place within you that you can never lose if you work for it. If you connect with it, if you align with it. So, who's willing to do the work that it takes? Who's willing to step into joy and bring happiness to the world and experience more happiness because you are part of that flow, because you remember who you are. And from that place, it is a really joyful place to live. It's a really joyful place, no matter what happens. No matter what happens in the world, what happens to you, you get to choose. Are you going to choose joy, or are you going to choose despair? Are you going to choose being of service, or are you going to choose self-centeredness? You get to choose. So today I'm going to invite you to choose laughter, because we're going to come back and do a laughter yoga practice. But first, Andrew is going to make us all laugh with a silly song.
This is about the death of Lightning. So, a couple of quick stories, I promise, at least as a song. Towards the end of my marriage, I was in a rough place. I was looking for work and just not in a happy place. And those questions, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I've always hated this question. But I decided that I was gonna answer that with, I'm gonna be happy. Because you can think whatever you want, and whatever can happen, but that's my decision, right? And I'm in control of that. And one of the biggest parts about being happy, I've learned, is you have to really take a look at yourself and see your foibles, but also your strengths, you know. Mine happens to be songwriting. And I started one song, and I was like, oh, this is really good. Like, I knew it was really good, I really liked it. And I was like, but I don't know how to finish this. Because where do you go from here? You'll understand. So I reached out to a very talented friend of mine named Shanna in Address. And she, well, there's a reason for that. Her name actually is Shanna Hoare, H-O-A-R. She's this, but as a musician, if you look up Shanna Hoare, you don't get the musician. So she's Shanna in Address. And this is a song that we wrote together about not our strengths, right? So, and it's brand new, so just give me that. Stationary bike in the corner of the room. I use it just for hanging up my clothes. It's not as if the closet is a million miles away. Nothing seems to end up where it goes. And I have reached a level where it's effort to be lazy. There's a laundry list of little things I do drive you crazy. I had the best intentions, you know that I do. I don't always see it through. I confess that I'm content with my own stand. That was her word. When I lean in for a snuggle, I confess that it's a struggle, cause I know that it's been a couple days and I am ranked. I'm saving time on laundry cause I shower. Saving time on laundry cause I wear it for 3 days and simply spray it with Febreze and tell myself that it's okay. Not the best routine, but it's where I seem to be. Maybe stay up with the beat. Time's not my friend, or an organization. And I have all of these piles, so it's easier to find out of sight is out of mind. I'm sorry, I didn't do that thing you wanted to do. Yeah, I know, I forgot. What? No, it wasn't on the calendar. I love you. I must send you reeling, you're a saint for dealing with me. I'm never hard to find, just look for smoking piles of debris. Worse than certain things, but the best you'll ever find. I'll love you till I'm blind. Myself blind doing something stupid, but I don't mind.
So now that we're all laughing, so laughter, you know, the last time I did this laughter yoga a few years ago, we all had such a good time. And I was talking about laughter as self-care at the time. But I'm talking about it today as a way to connect with your inner joy, right? Because self-care, creating boundaries, taking care of yourself is something that nurtures your inner joy. So it's all the same thing, really. Self-care is something that you need to do to be in sync, to be in alignment with truth, to be in alignment with your inner divinity. If you're not taking care of yourself, it is hard to connect to your joy. So, I'm going to tell you some things about, so we did the smile, right? We know about smiles, but laughter does so many things for your body. You know that if you laugh from your belly for 15 minutes. It's like doing 100 sit-ups. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd rather laugh than do sit-ups. And I'm really lucky because I do a lot of laughter. Like I said, I have a laughter practice. I have a lot of people in my life that make me laugh. And so I'm really grateful for that. But it improves your heart health, it improves your flow. I love this, I read that it helps get rid of inflammation. So if you're feeling inflamed, laugh. How many of us deal with inflammation, right? Whoever thought that laughter would be a solution, right? So it's like when you're feeling inflamed, you don't feel like laughing a lot of times, but you consciously choose to laugh. So like I said, I have a laughter practice, and it's because it releases endorphins, right? It releases all those neurotransmitters that make me feel good. It also helps your circulation, helps your blood pressure. There are so many actual physical benefits, but there are also real emotional and spiritual benefits to laughter, because it connects you with that joy. When you are laughing, it is hard to feel disconnected. I don't know about you, but when I'm laughing, even when I'm sitting home alone in front of my computer watching YouTube videos to make myself laugh, I feel connected. You know, laughter makes me feel connected. I feel connected to the comedian. I feel connected to the general sense of oneness. Because in laughter, we get to be together, whether we're alone or not. I just love that. There are all these physical effects and all these things I can tell you about pain relief. And, you know, there's the famous story about Norman Cousins, probably a lot of you know, who got himself cured or reduced his pain through laughter. Back in the day, this was like in 1964, he had connective tissue disease, and he cured it or got himself relief from the pain by watching Candid Camera. One of my favorite old shows. You just don't make me die laughing, Candid Camera. But so the idea is that when you consciously make yourself laugh, you have physical benefits, you have pain-reducing benefits, and that lifts your spirit. That lifts you up and reminds you of the truth of your inner joy. So one of the things is, like I said, I have all these daily practices that help me to laugh. But guess what? Like the same thing about the smile. You don't have to really mean it. When you're, you know, it's like your body and your brain don't know the difference. So if you just force yourself to laugh or force yourself to smile, you get the same neurotransmitters as if you really feel it. So if something makes you happy and you're smiling, great. If you're not happy and you smile, you can make yourself happy because it releases endorphins. It changes your chemistry. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to do some laughter yoga, which is not about anything being funny. It's about consciously choosing to do laughter like an action. Okay? It's like consciously choosing to do laughter as a practice. And so I have all these little ways. So the first thing is they start with clapping, because your hands have all the channels and all this. So we're going to do it like this. Ha, ha, ho, ho, ho. Ha, ha, ho, ho, ho. Ha, ha, ho, ho, ho. So, I mean, okay, you already feel silly, right? You already see everybody smiling, and we haven't even started. So, yeah. So there's another thing you can do. We're going to stand up. Okay, let's see if you have room around your chairs, because this is one of my favorite ones. It's called the lawnmower. Some of you might remember it from the last time we did this. So this is what it looks like. So anybody remember the old lawnmowers where you had to pull the thing, right? So this is ha, ha, ha. So you're going to do 2 pulls, and on the 3rd one you're going to rip-roar into laughter, okay? So let's do it together. Ha, ha, ha. A few times. Ha, ha, ha. One more. See? Yeah. Spontaneously brings up more laughter, right? It's when you make yourself laugh, you start laughing. I have been in so many situations where I start to laugh and just can't stop. And somebody else who doesn't even know the joke will hear me laugh, and then they start to laugh, and then I'm laughing because they're laughing, and then they're laughing because I'm laughing, and it just feeds on each other, right? But that's a great energy. Does everybody feel a little uplifted from that? Okay, so we're gonna do another one. We're gonna do a few actually, but so this one is called the zipper. Okay, I like to call it. I'm not going to tell you what I call it. Okay, so you're going to inhale and you're going to like zip up your jacket, right? You're going to go, and then, okay, next time we're going to do, ha, 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 ha. Okay, so we're inhaling up the ha's, and then we're exhaling out. And just going into roarous laughter, okay? Let's do it a few times. Ha, 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 ha. How does that feel? Okay, you can sit down. We're going to do these next two in our seats so that you know that you don't even have to be standing up in this room to do it. So there's one that's called cell phone laughter. So what if you, so we're going to pretend to pick up our cell phone, and we're just going to imagine that somebody is saying something so hilarious that we're cracking up. So we're just going to go, ha ha right? It's so easy, and look at how it's raised your spirits. Look at how it's raised your energy. Look at how it has brought you joy, right? And connected you with one another. Even if you were doing it at home alone, it raises your vibration. And then you get to go out and bring that to the world. Then you get to go out and show up as joy. And when we model that, that's how we can be of best be of service. Because when we model that, other people will want it. Other people will want what we have. Right? And that's what we want to do. We want to show up as love. So what if the point of it all, yes, our t-shirts got joy. I almost wore mine today. So what if the point was to be happy, to feel joy, and to bring that out into the world? What if everyone knew that was the point and everyone took the actions to make that be their reality, to co-create that world, to bring joy into everything you do? It's a choice, and you get to do it. So who's with me? Yeah. All right. All right, so now we're going to have we're going to do our conscious giving from that place of joy, from that place of oneness. It's time for our conscious giving. So I invite you to give to our center, to our community that allows us to feel this joy, right, and to be together. You can give by Venmo or PayPal. You can give in the basket. You can give on our website at the donate button. But give joyously. Give the way I'm paying my taxes. Give with gratitude. Give with the understanding that this is all a blessing and that you get to participate in it. So from that place, I invite you to repeat this affirmation after me. My gift goes forth with joy and gratitude to support this community. And it returns to me multiplied abundantly with blessings in every way. And so it is. Okay, so I have some announcements. Quite a few, I think, actually. Okay, so Thursday, April 16th is the next Women to Women Luncheon. It's at noon. You can sign up in the back or talk to Kathy Ronka about it. We have another movie night coming up on The 27th, it will be the movie Salt of the Earth. And the, people have really loved the movie nights, so make sure you come.
Could I just say something about the Auto Club movie nights? It's so fun, you can't believe how much fun it is. And Lee always has kind of a very funny little game Q&A.
Lynn will be up here speaking for social hour, for social committee in just a minute. Thank you. So we have discussion groups coming up. The first one will be next week, facilitated by Reverend Janice after service. We have a book group that is, wait, that was already passed. I don't know if it got rescheduled.
It starts tomorrow.
Oh, it's, okay, this says March 16th. Okay, all right, so it's tomorrow night, the book group, and it will be from 6 to 7:30 here. On April 12th, we're having our annual meeting. Please, everybody come. This is really important that you be a part of and that you let your voice be heard. It's going to be very short. It's going to be right after service, before social hour, and then we're going to have social hour provided by the Leadership Council. So make sure you plan on staying for that. We still have sign-up sheets on the back counter for all of the different committees that are going on, so check that out. We still have Science of Mind magazines back there. I'm going to continually give this offer. If you buy a Science of Mind magazine and you do not find it helpful or you do not enjoy it in some way, I will refund you your money, because that magazine is part of my daily practice and it really helps me. So check it out. We still have a few left. And then on the first Friday, we have Healing Circle with Gail Belluardo, which we have every month and which is always amazing. So if you haven't been to one, I suggest you come. Yeah, I announced it. You weren't here. There's a flyer for the women's luncheon in the back, and you can talk to Kathy. I remembered Kathy. Okay, so now we're going to invite Lynn to come up and talk to us about the social committee. Okay, all right. So Lynn, Christy, and Kathy, and Jean, I guess.
Eileen.
Was
Eileen. I had to lobby to get myself included. Sure. Hi, everyone. So, I'm just, not that I have notes or anything. So I just wanted to introduce the social team committee. You all know us, and so I wanted to start off first by just saying thank you to Lynn, because Lynn actually spearheads so many projects. She gets everybody involved, and I know she's not going to really talk today, but I just wanted to say that, like, she's just an amazing person, and she's the leader of the social team committee. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about social hour, and then everyone else is going to talk a little bit about what what they do for the social team. Social hour, we're making an announcement of who's doing social hour only if it's potluck. So if you're looking for information on Constant Contact, there's no announcement who's actually doing social hour. So if it's only potluck, then we'll make an announcement. Okay, so just so you know, I want to thank everybody for helping clean up. It's been such a great teamwork. And the last thing that I want to say about social hour was a lot of people had wanted everybody to kind of do like a team effort with social hour. So I'm not sure if everybody's aware. Kathy made up this sign-up sheet where, you know, if you wanted to just do like an entree or a salad or, you know, dessert, you can sign up. So let me just hold on one second. Let me look at that. So this is the sign-up sheet. I'm gonna pass it around just so everybody can see. And I'll start here. So if you guys want to sign up, if you want to, you know, create a team together, you know, that's our social hour. That's all I have to say. Okay, so well, I wanted to, we're having our third woman to woman luncheon. What we decided is that every other time we have it, we'll do it on a Thursday, and then every other time we have it, which is every other month, we'll do it on a Saturday so that people at work can come. We've had really great success. It's been a lot of fun. We do some introspection. We do some fun activities. We even had a spiritual mind tasting of chocolate last time. And we revealed a little bit about our inner self. So it was a lot of fun. I do have a sign-up sheet. I have signed up these flyers, and there is a sign-up sheet. So all you need to do is write down your name and what you plan on bringing and your contact info. And I usually, once it's all done, I usually fill in. So if I know if there's an entree missing, I'll bring an entree. If there's dessert missing, I'll bring an dessert. But please do come. It's a lot of fun. It's 12 o'clock on April 16th. I hope you all enjoy. We changed to spring this past week, and I hope you all enjoy some of the spring things that we brought in to make it a little bit lighter and to enjoy and celebrate our season.
Thanks, Gabby.
Yes. Okay, all right, hi, everybody. Okay, so, social committee, one of the things that we love to do is create opportunities for outings. So, we are open, if you have any special places that you like to go, and we could all go together. We can set a date. We have our calendar is so full, but just let us know, talk to any one of us that you have a special place that you like to go, and we can put it on the calendar. Okay, so, and some of the things also that we do, of course, we have ideas for nature hikes. And of course, we have the Daffodil Festival coming up, just to give you some ideas. Yes, and the Peony Envy. How many went with us last time? Some of us, yes. Okay. And I just discovered one of my favorite places. It's called the Skylands Museum of Art. It is incredible. It's in Lafayette, New Jersey, and it's absolutely spectacular. So we'd love to have us, do that one day. And one last thing, on May 2nd is Herb Day up at Well Sweep Herb Farm. How many of you have been there? Well Sweep Herb Farm. It's way out near Hackettstown. It's on May 2nd. Look it up. And I have a card if you would like.
What day is that?
That is on May 2nd.
Saturday. Good day.
Oh, sorry. Saturday.
Saturday.
Are they flyers? You did, okay. Oh, yes. We've met. Christy's gone. Yes. Arlene. And like a card. Thank you. That's all. If you have any ideas, you can.
So I get the back cleanup, and I just wanted to say this is the funnest committee. Marketing, because they're both led by Lynn, and Lynn always has great ideas, and it's just amazing. You can't keep up with it. I can't keep up. So I'm going to mention again the cleanup in there, because we keep it mostly Christie's list, and always, like, at the end of the day, we replace all the silverware and napkins. So next time we come in, we just can sit down and start having fun. So there's a few small steps. It's all on a check sheet. So
I saw that today.
yeah, it's very well organized, and it's a lot of fun. We're going to talk about something later. And what else did I want to say? There's a lot of sign-up sheets back there for committees, and some of them are a little sparsely filled. I wanted to remind a dear friend of mine, we wanted to sign up for the IT committee. Not that we want to do Vern's job, but sometimes you come here, and even for musicians or whatever, and no one knows what button to push. So there's a reason to just know how to. And Michael used to do the sound at the old center. Question?
Anybody's going to the book club tomorrow, please sign up.
Yes, sign up for the book club. We wanna see how these things are going. So let's all do everything.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I just wanna say, like, I think you guys give me way more credit than I Yeah, you guys are all such kind souls that I think you credit me with more than I actually do, but I'll take it, like, it's nice. Where can you come where they give you more credit than you actually are want to? So, thank you all.
All right, thank you, everybody on the not to bug everybody, but last week we ran into a little bit of an issue because we were planning a book club, and then we said, we don't have to sign up, and we canceled because of the weather. So there is, I just wrote this up, if anybody is coming tomorrow night, please just sign up and put your contact information. Arlene is going to be leading it tomorrow. The name of the book is What is Self-Love Anyway? Starts at 5:30. If you come from work and you want to bring your dinner to eat, it's fine. But it's a good idea if we get some kind of indication of who's coming, if in an event we have to cancel. It's tomorrow night.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's it for our announcements. Now we are going to have our closing prayer treatment. We close with affirmative prayer. So I invite you all to close your eyes and to hear these words as if they were your own. So right here, right now, in the presence of the One, in the recognition of the divinity that lives within each, from that place of deep joy of knowing my connection with the One, and allowing and receiving for good and greater good through that connection, I affirm this truth, that each one here has been uplifted and supported and empowered into greater expressions of joy, into understanding who and what they are and how they get to show up in the world. And so I know that everyone goes forth into the world and brings forth that energy of joy, spreads happiness everywhere they go because they choose it. And with deep gratitude and grace for this community, for our social committee, for everyone who is a part of this celebration today, and for everyone who is watching or listening, with deep gratitude for this teaching and this consciousness that allows us to make the conscious choice, to choose joy, to know who we are, I simply say thank you. And I release this word into that ever-present and loving law that does unto us as we believe. And so knowing that we all believe in what has been spoken, I simply let it go and let it be. And together we say, so it is. Andrew.
Well, this for me is a joy. Thank you guys for giving me a place to share these silly, crazy songs and be appreciated. This one, sometimes songs like just appear out of thin air. Sometimes you have to really work at them. This one came from an article I read online about a bank in Michigan that was transformed into a different kind of business. I'll share that with you. What? Come on. I don't know when, I don't know how, but one day I'm gonna die. And the only thing I can control is the way you say goodbye. Should you like to see me before they lay me down to rest? I don't wanna be bothered, so simply grant my last request. Let me have a drive-through funeral, so that won't take too long. 3 minutes at the window while they play a peaceful song. Simply let that engine idle as you pay your last respects. It's a slide out drawer for a guest book, and a bin for cards and checks. Slide out drawer for a guest book, and a bin for cards and checks. It's all true. Including this verse. There's no problem with estrangement, no talk of the affair. Just drive through when you want to, she won't even know you're there. Don't door for a guest book. Haven't been for hard to fix. Slide out door for a guest book. Haven't been for hard to fix. In my life's at hurricane's pace. The underground doesn't take up space. Seems an obvious thing to do. That's the whole world that's passing through. And you have to drive through funeral, so it won't take too long. 3 minutes out the window while they play a peaceful song. Simply let that engine idle as you pay your last respects. There's a slide out door for a guest book. Been for cards and checks. Slide out door for a guest book. Been for cards and checks.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. I hope you all feel a little more joyful, a little more connected to your joy. So we have a social hour with Kathy Ronka has graciously provided us with. And next week, we have Reverend Janice speaking with music by Reverend Rich. I can never say his last name, Volk. Anyway, so come back next week, go have social hour, and we'll see you all soon. Bring that joy forth, guys.
Marketing.